The first 90 minutes after you wake up set the hormonal cascade for the next 16 hours. Get this window right, and your energy, focus, and body composition shift. Get it wrong, and you spend the entire day fighting your own physiology. Here are 4 things to do before breakfast. Every one of them is backed by peer-reviewed research that reset your cortisol, prime your insulin sensitivity, and get up to 6 to 8 hours of sustainable energy. Quick framing before I get into the list, because if you don't understand this piece, these 4 things won't make any sense. Your body has a hormone system called the cortisol awakening response. In the first 30 to 45 minutes after you wake up, cortisol rises 50 to 75%. That's what makes you feel awake. That morning cortisol pulse tells every organ system in your body that it's time to be alive. What you do in that window shapes the pulse. Do the right things and cortisol rises sharply, then drops cleanly, and you feel wired and relaxed by 10 a.m. Do the wrong things, phone in bed, coffee on an empty stomach, no light exposure, and cortisol stays elevated all day. That's the 3 p.m. crash, the anxiety, the belly fat that won't move. The 4 things I'm about to walk you through target this window specifically. Each has clinical evidence for a specific mechanism. Quick context, I'm not a doctor, I'm a functional nutrition coach. I read the research and run it on myself and my clients. These 4 things are what I do every morning because they've moved my labs, they moved my energy, and they moved every client I've walked them through. So thing number 1, get sunlight in your eyes within 30 minutes of waking up. Here's why this works. There's a specific class of cells in your retina, retinal ganglion cells, that detect blue light. When they fire, they signal a structure in your brain called the suprachiasmatic nucleus. That's your master body clock. Morning light exposure anchors that clock. It sharpens the cortisol awakening response. It sets up melatonin release 14 to 16 hours later for an actual quality night of sleep. The evidence is from Kenneth Wright's research at Colorado. He took a group of people camping for a week without any artificial light. Their circadian rhythms reset to match sunrise within 6 days, and that was published in Current Biology in 2013. So here's what to do with it. 5 to 10 minutes of outdoor light within 30 minutes of waking. Cloudy days still count. Even on an overcast day, you're getting 10,000 lux or more outside. Indoor lighting is 500 lux. That's a 20 to 100 times difference. Don't wear sunglasses, don't look at the sun, just be outside with your eyes taking in the ambient light. In winter or on dark mornings, a 10,000 lux light therapy lamp for 15 to 20 minutes will work. Sit in front of it while you drink your water and get on with your morning. Here's thing number 2. Hydrate with minerals, not just water. You lose 1 to 2 pounds of water overnight. Between breathing and sweating, you wake up in a mild state of dehydration. Combined with cortisol's diuretic effect in the morning, most people are running low on electrolytes before they've even had breakfast. If you drink plain water first thing, you're diluting the electrolytes you have left. Adding minerals like sodium, potassium, magnesium restores cellular function immediately. That's why some people feel like a different person 20 minutes after doing this. Research from Popkins at UNC concluded that losing 1 to 2% of your body weight in water measurably impairs cognitive function, energy, and mood. Overnight water loss puts most people in that range. So here's what to do with it. 16 to 20 ounces of water within 30 minutes of waking. Add a quarter teaspoon of Celtic salt or use a quality electrolyte packet. One more piece here. If your cortisol tends to run high, anxiety, wired, tired mornings, skip caffeine for the first 90 to 120 minutes after waking. Let your natural cortisol pulse do its job first and then add coffee. Thing number 3. Brief movement, even 5 to 10 minutes. Fasted morning movement does 4 things nothing else does. It spikes BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor. It supports focus and neuroplasticity for the day. It improves insulin sensitivity for the next 24 hours, and it activates glucose transporters in the muscle, and it creates a small dopamine release that supports motivation without stimulants. So here's the evidence. There's a study in the Journal of Physiology from Schoberg and colleagues. Fasted morning exercise improved insulin sensitivity for the entire day more than the same exercise done later after eating. And research from University of Bath, pre-breakfast exercise doubled fat oxidation compared to the exact same exercise done after eating. So here's the plan. Just 5 to 15 minutes. It doesn't have to be intense. Here's some options. a brisk walk outdoors, which combines thing 1 sunlight, so it's a double win, or 20 push-ups plus 20 squats plus a plank, or yoga flow or mobility work if you're stiff. The point is just activation. You're not looking for exhaustion here. Save the hard training for later. This is signaling to your body that the day has started. And thing number 4, when you do eat, make it protein forward. 30 to 40 grams of protein. Protein at breakfast triggers satiety hormones that persist 4 to 6 hours. It blunts the post-meal blood sugar spike. It provides amino acids for muscle protein synthesis, which peaks after overnight fasting. It provides amino acids for muscle protein synthesis, which peaks after overnight fasting. And it reduces evening cravings by up to 60%. The evidence is from Heather Leidy's research in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition. Overweight adolescents on a 35-gram protein breakfast had significantly reduced evening cravings and hedonic food intake compared to the standard breakfast. What you eat in the morning shapes what your appetite does at 9 p.m. So here's the plan. 3 to 4 whole eggs plus a side of Greek yogurt, or a protein shake with 30 grams of whey, or leftover meat from dinner plus fruit. Not a carb-heavy breakfast, not muffins and coffee. Protein first, then carbs if you want them, and ideally get them from fruit. Some people do well with delayed breakfast. Eating at noon or 1 p.m. is part of their time-restricted eating. You're not required to eat breakfast at all, but if you eat it, make it protein forward. That's the rule. And here's a bonus. 3 things to skip in the morning. Number 1, coffee on an empty stomach as your first consumption. It spikes cortisol on top of the awakening response. It drives anxiety and afternoon crashes. Number 2, phone in bed scrolling. This floods you with cortisol elevating inputs before your brain is even ready. You're stressed before your feet hit the floor. And number 3, rush shower and rush departure with no light exposure. It locks you into a stressed sympathetic state that lasts the whole day. And if you take one thing from this video, take this. The first 90 minutes of your day are the highest leverage window you have. Sunlight, minerals, movement, and protein. Free, simple, and compounding. This is working with your morning biology instead of against it. And if you want to start asking better questions about your own body and finally get to the root of your chronic health issues, make sure to subscribe. We're on a mission to help 1 million people get off symptom managing medication and finally heal at the root cause. Click subscribe so you don't miss the next one. And if you're looking for additional support, potentially working with our functional practice, click the link in the description to schedule a free consultation.